something may have just changed the entire conversation surrounding Kai Sotto and Gilas Pilipinas. With Window 4 of the FIBA World Cup Asian Qualifiers approaching, the Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas has released a very telling image of Kai Sotto wearing the Gilas Pilipinas jersey. But this wasn't just another throwback photo. The post showed Kai throwing down a dunk, with the words, "Locked in, 11 days to go," prominently displayed. And that number 11 immediately caught the attention of Filipino basketball fans.
Why?
Because 11 is also the number on Kai Sotto's Gilas jersey. Now, the SBP post does not by itself constitute an official announcement that Kai will play. But the timing, the image, and the message have fueled serious speculation that the 7'3" center is once again part of Gilas Pilipinas' plans. And if Kai is indeed returning, the next major question becomes even more interesting. Who are the 12 players coach Tim Cone could take into the games against Jordan and Iran? Because based on the names being discussed, there may be only 1 or 2 spots that remain truly uncertain. And today, we're going through the potential final 12, starting with the big men and ending with the guards who could complete Coach Cone's roster. But first, there's one important clue we need to examine. And now, that clue has become much stronger. Kai Sotto has not simply been the subject of fan speculation. According to reports published this week, Coach Tim Cone confirmed that Sotto is set to make his return to the national team for the upcoming games against Jordan and Iran. Sotto also reported for Gilas duties as the team began preparations for the 4th window. That changes everything for the frontcourt. The Philippines will need size, physicality, and defensive presence against 2 of the strongest teams in the group. Cone himself has described the situation as essentially do or die, with Gilas needing a strong homestand to keep its World Cup hopes alive. So, if we're projecting the final 12, Kai Sotto is the first name on the board. Right beside him is Mar Fajardo, whose experience and interior strength remain extremely valuable in international basketball. Then comes AJ Edu, another big who can give Cone defensive mobility and versatility. And the 4th big man spot becomes particularly interesting. Justin Baltazar has already shown that he can provide physicality and energy in the frontcourt, making him a logical candidate for this roster projection. But there is an important complication. Coach Cone has previously had to deal with uncertainty surrounding several big men, and Mike Phillips is reportedly unavailable for this window because of a family commitment. That makes the roster construction even more important. Because once the big men are chosen, the real battle shifts to the wings. Justin Brownlee remains the obvious centerpiece of that group. His ability to score, create, rebound, and handle difficult possessions gives Gilas a weapon that can change the game in multiple ways. Then you have Carl Tamayo and Kevin Quiambao, 2 younger forwards who can bring a different kind of energy and skill to the floor. And this is where Troy Rosario enters the conversation. If Cone wants a balanced roster capable of handling different matchups, Rosario's versatility could make him extremely valuable. But remember, this is not simply about selecting the 12 most talented names. It's about building the 12-man combination that gives Gilas the best chance to survive Jordan and Iran. And that's where the final 4 guard spots become fascinating. And this is where the roster projection gets really interesting. The guard group could be the difference between a Gilas team that simply has enough talent and one that actually has the balance coach Tim Cone needs against Jordan and Iran. The first name is Dwight Ramos. For this projection, Ramos is one of the safest selections because of what he can provide on both ends of the floor. He can defend, handle the ball, attack in transition, and play alongside other guards without needing every possession designed for him. Then comes Juan Gomez de Liaño. His performance during the previous window put him firmly into this conversation, and his ability to bring energy and playmaking gives Cone another option when the offense becomes stagnant. He doesn't necessarily need to dominate the ball to influence the game, and that can be extremely valuable in a roster filled with established players. At number 11, I'm projecting RJ Abarrientos. Abarrientos gives Gilas another guard who can create his own shot and put pressure on a defense. And against teams with size and physicality, having a guard capable of creating something late in the shot clock can become a major advantage. That leaves the final spot. For me, that's Chris Newsome. Newsome brings experience, toughness, and versatility, and those qualities matter when you're preparing for international games where every possession can become a battle. So, putting the entire projection together, the 12 names would be Kai Sotto, Mar Fajardo, AJ Edu, Justin Baltazar, Justin Brownlee, Carl Tamayo, Kevin Quiambao, Troy Rosario, Dwight Ramos, Juan Gomez de Liaño, RJ Abarrientos, and Chris Newsome. But there's an important distinction here. This is a projection, not an officially announced Final 12. What we do know is that Kai Sotto has returned to Gilas training, and Coach Cone has confirmed that the 7'3" center is set to play in this window. And that changes the equation dramatically. Cone has openly emphasized the need for size against Jordan and Iran, which makes Sotto's return especially significant. Now the question isn't whether Kai can help Gilas. The question is how much his presence changes the entire team. And that may be the biggest story of all. Kai Sotto's return gives Gilas something the team has been missing: legitimate size in the middle. Coach Tim Cone has already described Sotto as a game-changing addition, and his presence comes at a critical moment, with the Philippines preparing to host Jordan on August 28th and Iran on August 30th. But this roster cannot simply be built around one player. Against Jordan and Iran, Gilas will need toughness from the frontcourt, versatility from the wings, and enough shot creation from the guards to keep the offense moving when the game gets tight. That's why the combination of Sotto, Fajardo, Edu, and the projected forwards becomes so important. And there is another reason this window matters. Gilas has already endured a difficult stretch in the qualifiers, making these home games especially important in the race for another World Cup appearance. So, if this projected 12 is close to what Coach Cone ultimately chooses, the formula is clear: size inside, versatility on the wings, and enough experience in the backcourt to survive pressure situations. Still, until the official Final 12 is announced, we should treat this as a projection, not a confirmed roster. What is confirmed is that Kai Sotto is back with Gilas. And now, Filipino basketball fans finally have something to look forward to: seeing whether this new-look lineup can turn that excitement into two crucial victories. Because when Jordan walks onto the floor on August 28th, the speculation will be over. The only thing that will matter then is what Gilas Pilipinas does with its opportunity. And with Kai Sotto back in the middle, this could be the beginning of a very different chapter.